Hello, everyone. I've missed you all. This is all messed up. Sorry, I should have prepped a little better before starting. Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry I missed the last 2 weeks. Basically I had an event and then another event. It's February is always very busy for me for my production company. But I'm here tonight, and I'm going to be here every Thursday night if you want to join me next time. And the goal is to have the last Thursday of the month, which would have been today, to have group Zoom calls. So if you're interested in that, you can sign up for the next one on my website. I didn't have enough people to make it happen this night or tonight. So I'm just jumping on to do some live readings. Hey everyone, welcome. And so tonight I'm going to be doing some speed readings because I had an event tonight that I'm just kind of jumping from Zoom call to Zoom call. That's the life we're living right now. Awesome. So thank you guys. Let's see. If you want to check me next time, again, next Thursday or every Thursday I should be on. And I upload a new video every Sunday, Monday-ish. And so I'm curious, the next video that I'm going to upload, I'm going to get your guys' opinion on which I want to edit. But yeah, let's just get started with a group reading for everybody. So I like to start the night by just pulling a card for everyone. So even if you didn't catch me live, you feel like you still have a question that was answered. So everyone that's watching now, everyone that's watching live, send me your question. You can throw it up in the chat. You can just send it to me energetically. And what I want to do is ask our guides to answer the question. And they're like, bam. And I set the intention that no matter who's watching, that this message is for you. And tonight, you guys, if you don't want to wait for a reading, send me a donation through my Venmo or my PayPal, and I'll make sure that you get a reading. Also, if you guys want to donate to my tarot card fund, I finally have enough cards made that I can send it out to a publisher. So cross your fingers for me, you guys. I've got enough to just send like a mock-up, and I'm hoping that they'll like them enough. They'll be like, yes, we want to finish making it, and I'll be able to pay the artist for the rest of the cards. Okay, so reading for everyone. I pulled both of these cards in reverse, and I haven't even read into them, but I'm just feeling like your guys are like, chill, bring it down. You're okay. So I'm getting with this card. So this card is come to the edge, and this card is usually like be brave, do something risky. You come to the edge and face something that's scary for you. But I almost feel like because this is in reverse, you guys are dancing way too close to that cliff a little too often. So you're being a little too risky, a little too, what's the word I'm hearing? Spontaneous. You're not making plans as much as you should. You're just kind of like willy-nilly doing whatever, not really thinking about the consequences. And so again, I pulled this card in reverse. And I'm curious, can you guys even see these cards? Should I even put them up to the camera? I don't know how pixelated they are, if they're even worth being able to see. I can obviously see them really clearly through my camera, but I don't know streaming how that works. But yeah, everyone's being a little too risky, a little too thoughtless. Everyone's getting a little too comfortable with being a little crazy. And then this card is breathe. And I pulled it in reverse, which I'm just sort of interpreting as you need to breathe. And we're not doing it very well right now. I just want to pull another card. Just ask for further guidance. Whatever it is that you guys are asking about, it's more of a step back, make some calculated decisions, weigh the pros and cons. If you have to write out all the different things that you could do so that you can kind of get your brain in a better place, whatever that is, do it. There needs to be a little bit more thought behind the process. And chopping wood, this card is usually about doing the hard work, getting the work in. And so maybe right now we're just kind of going crazy. We're like, the energy that I'm getting is just like chaos. Like you're just throwing crap at the wall and hoping it sticks. I don't know what that expression is, but it's like everyone needs to take a step back, do a little bit of planning, put a little bit of elbow grease in, do a little bit of the work. And so even if you're asking like about a relationship, which I see some people are asking about, it's like, maybe don't act so rashly, don't be so crazy about it. Take the time to step back and make a plan of how you want to talk to them. In the chopping wood aspect, could be taking a break to be like, you know what, I need to put in the work to make this relationship happen. And what is that? Oh, I need to take some me time, or oh, I need to, go speak to a counselor because maybe I'm not doing the best at communicating. It's not putting it on everyone else to make it happen. I just feel like everyone's kind of like putting out your energy of why, I'm waiting for the world to give me what I want. Everything is chaotic. And this like message that I'm getting is like, calm down, take some time to make some plans, understand that you're actually going to have to do some of the work. It's not just going to come to you. Breathe. Yeah, I think that's the group reading. Like throwing Jello at the wall, hoping it sticks. Yes, Gina, exactly. Awesome. Hey, Marco. All right, guys. So I'm doing a speed reading night, and so speed readings are fun, claircognizant exercises to basically hone that claircognizance, which is that fast download of information. And it's when you get it and you don't know how else you are receiving it. Like you don't know if you saw it or you heard it. You might not be able to pinpoint those clairs, but you just like know. And sometimes you get a ton of information all at once. And that's how you can know it's not your mind and it's that claircognizant ability, is because you just got so much at once. You're like, I couldn't have thought even that fast. Just because you don't get it super fast or a bunch of things at once doesn't mean it's not claircognizance. That's just kind of, once you get honed and you're using it a lot, that's kind of how it comes through. But yeah, so basically throw up your questions. There's no limit tonight. I just kind of go through everybody. The only bad thing is I just do very short readings. So again, if you'd rather have a longer one, send me a donation through Venmo or PayPal, and I'll make sure that you get a little bit longer of a reading tonight. And guys, join me every Thursday night for readings. Yeah, let's do some speed readings. And I'm just going to go, since some of you have already thrown up questions, I'm going to jump into it. And I might pull some cards just for fun. I've been on a tarot card kick today because I finished my tarot cards, at least the first 10 cards, which means I can send it to a publisher and they have enough to be able to look at it and be like, oh, okay, this is what it looks like. And so I kind of went through my whole deck, made sure I liked it. I've just been thinking about it all day and I can't wait to share it with you guys. Did Jeremy started back talking to Kyra? He cheated on me with her in the past. I'm getting yes, but he never stopped talking. I could be wrong there. Am I on the right path? And what do I need to do? Missy, I'm just gonna pull a card. Message in a bottle. Missy, this is pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to your intuition. Your guides are trying to communicate with you. When will I achieve financial freedom? I just feel like the cards tonight, man. I'm going to do it. Even though I shouldn't, and it's a crutch. When will I achieve financial freedom? When you make a decision. You're often at a fork in the road and you don't know which way to go. And because you're always stuck, you're not telling your guides, this is what I want. And so you're not attracting it as well. So Dixie, also check out the video on my channel. I have a review on the book called Get Rich Lucky Bitch, and I freaking love that book. It's like my Bible. Am I on the right track to healing myself? And you guys can ask multiple questions. Speed readings. Am I on the right track to healing myself and pendulum healing at the same time? I'm feeling like big yes, especially with the pendulum healing, Marco. I don't even know what that is, but I feel like that is really resonating with you. I'm just feeling like maybe, Marco, you're a chakra dude. Like maybe learn about that a little bit more, and maybe that's like it just super resonates with you for whatever reason. You're pretty new to developing your clairs. Thank you for supporting Karen, Brittany. I'm on day 5 now. Get through the first week. I feel like the first week is all just like meditate. I'm like, oh, where's the fun stuff? And feel free to just like, if you're feeling unmotivated, Brittany, just pull a card at random. Like, you do not have to go in order with those things. But thanks for ordering those. And I actually, I should have brought it in here. I bought Karen's her book, her psychic workbook, and I'm about to do a video review on that for you guys. Super excited. Anyway, I want to be able to help connect with my loved ones and help others do the same. Oh, you're just sharing. Thanks, Brittany. Thanks for coming to my channel. A lot of people discover me because they're trying to figure out how to, develop their psychic abilities, and they just don't know how. And they sort of get introduced. I'm such a clairs person. This card fell out. Fork in the road. A lot of you are in a stuck position right now, and the guidance is just go with it. Make a decision. You'll know if it's the wrong one right away, and you can change. It's okay. Yes, Dixie. I love that book. What to do to bring my gifts forward? Seeing a lot of people. I'm seeing a crowd, Missy. To me, I'm feeling like being around a group is just going to help you feel more connected to those gifts. I don't know if you're talking about just psychic gifts or gifts in general, but for whatever reason, you do well around other people, and other people energize you and motivate you. So I think, yeah, getting around people is what I'm getting there. Is Stephanie healing too? Is my pendulum healing for her? I feel like there's a little bit of disbelief there, Marco, and so that's like inhibiting it a little bit, but I think it is working. I'm being drawn to her heart chakra. There's like not a whole lot of trust there for some reason. I think she's a little bit wary on the process, but the fact that she's even catering to you is super cool of her. Missy says they make me tired. I know how you feel, and I'm that same way, but I'm like weird because like I'm an introvert and I don't like being around people. Like, I need my alone time for sure. But then if I'm in a good mood and I'm in a good spot and being around other people, I just get so energized about things. And that's kind of the thing that I'm getting with you, Missy, is like, get into the zone of like, okay, I'm okay being around these people. I'm ready. I'm prepared. And then make sure to decompress afterwards. But I feel like for whatever reason, that was the answer that came through. you can ignore it. You can say, give me something else, guys. I've been doing the color card with my kiddos. Oh, that's so fun, Brittany. I'm curious. Do you think they're pretty good at it? I can't wait till my son gets older just to see his natural intuitive abilities versus like mine. And I'm curious if kids are more intuitive. Actually, when I went to the Aspen program for psychic development, some of those people brought in their kids to the classes, which I was like, that is so cool. And those kids were often better than a lot of us adults. And they weren't even like trying. They were just like, yeah, I'm connecting. Being around people drains me. Yes, I know what you mean, Missy. I secretly do it for her. Oh, well, and Marco, so like one of the things with like Reiki is that, so Reiki, you can send Reiki to people, you can send healing energy to people, even if you don't have their permission, as long as you're doing it positively and not negatively, that's what's important. You can send it to her, but that doesn't mean they're going to subconsciously accept it. And so maybe there's just that little bit of, resistance there is kind of what I'm feeling with her, but she's definitely like benefiting a little bit from it for sure. Are me and Stephanie gonna go to reunion within 3 months? Just pulling a card. Marco, I'm getting that come to the edge card again. I'm feeling like, but this is the opposite. This is like come to the edge, do something brave. So maybe if you're feeling like it's not going to happen, if there's that gut feeling of, ooh, I don't know, be forward, be, what's the word I'm looking for? Be brave, like step up and make it happen, come to the edge, face the fears is kind of what this card is about. So maybe that's the obstacle that's in the way for you guys going to this reunion. This is what needs to happen, is you need to maybe step up and initiate it, because she might be a little nervous about it. My daughter's almost 5 and she does pretty good, better than me sometimes. That's so awesome. Thanks for sharing, Brittany. I love it when like you guys give me feedback about my videos, because sometimes I just put up videos and I don't hear anything. And I'm like, do people even like what I'm doing? Like, is this even helpful? I don't know. All right, speed readings, you guys. Hey, if you're in here and you have a question, throw it up. It's a speed reading. That's how it works. I'll just pull. That card's wanting to jump out at us. Ugh. We have a lot of cleaning it up energy tonight. Clean it up, guys. Ugh. There's a lot of ickiness going on. And if you're not sure how, deep knowing, this is your intuition. This owl has come up a lot over the last couple of days. And sometimes owls, if you have an owl guide or you see an owl, this is like a representation of intuition. So it's that deep intuitive knowing. It's like at the end of the day, you have that gut feeling and you know the answer. And your guides want you to know your intuition is strong. You can connect to it. You can trust that gut feeling. I had a dream that I was a prophet. Not so much psychic. Missy, I'm interested. What would you say the difference is? Because I think, so with dreams, dream analysis can be very, I've yet to do a video about dreams, guys, but I have pages on pages on dream videos that I'm going to do. I had a dream that I was a prophet. I'm going to come back to answer that question for me, Missy, because dreams are very different for me than just like a psychic reading, and I've learned that I have to kind of dissect them in a different way. Because all I'm hearing is, yes, you are psychic, but that distinction that you're making, I'm curious what that means. New manager started this week. Will this be a good thing? Heidi, I'm immediately getting that everyone's like wary, and maybe this new manager is kind of coming across as like a hard ass, and everyone's kind of got their hackles up and it's like, ooh, oh no. But it's like, I'm getting like, this will pass. This is just them proving themselves. But though they need to just get into the rhythm and the culture of the company, and like they need to, you know how you learn how everyone speaks, and it's like maybe they're just not familiar with it. So I'm hearing like, give it like a few weeks and then you're going to have a much better idea, because whoever they are right now, they're acting a little bit weird to fit in or prove themselves, but that's not going to be the norm. So just ride the wave is what I'm hearing. Yay! I love owls. Yes, owls, at least an owl for me means intuition. And one of the videos I'm going to make soon is how our guides speak different languages to us. So just because I have an owl guide and I interpret that owl to be all about intuition, you might have an owl and it might be about soaring high or like achieving big things. I don't know. I got permission for her higher self for healing. Awesome, Marco. You know what you're doing. I love it. Hi, do you feel any changes for me at my job? I'm just gonna pull a card. Ooh. Jenny, this is a really good card. No place like home. So I'm getting that you're gonna get really or I feel like you're really comfortable at your job. And then this is also like a twofold message of like, whenever you're feeling like stuck or things aren't working at your job, remember to come home and enjoy being at home. Like I always say, separate from work. Make sure you're mentally and physically separating from work at the end of the day. And if you have to do like a ritual to like get your brain out of work mode and into, you know, I'm relaxing, I'm at home mode, which I need to do that all the time, especially because I have to work a lot at home. I think that's like the thing for you, Jenny. I don't feel like there's any big changes. I just feel like this might be an issue that your guys want to help with. Hey everyone, welcome. If you're joining me, I'm doing speed readings tonight, so lucky you guys for joining. Everybody gets really quick speed readings, if I can talk right. And I will be on every Thursday night. I hope to see you guys next Thursday. Hello, Vanessa. You're welcome, Heidi. Mine's an eagle. Nice. Trying to know my guides more, but I have trouble. I can't recognize any names, any origins. I only know a name for one because I nicknamed them when I was a child. Cool. Any tips, any help? Alana, I'm going to pull a card intuitively. Time to go. It's interesting, but I can't. So this card is like about leaving normally, and maybe I just need to talk through this. Like leaving, moving forward. So maybe Alana, whatever you're doing right now, just leave it be. Like whatever technique you're trying to use is not working for you, so just move on from it. I think that's what this card is. As far as like actual tips from me, see, I think I have a video on spirit guides and how to connect to them. So I would start there because I like refer you out to all sorts of other videos. But as far as tips for meeting your guides, I would say don't get hung up on trying to like figure out their names or where they're from, because oftentimes it doesn't quite matter, or you'll learn it along the way. What you want to know more is what are they there for? And one of the things you can do is use a tarot deck and just ask that guide, hey guide, what are you here in my life for? And, you know, maybe you'll pull a card that makes sense. I'm also hearing Shamanic Journeying. I cannot recommend that enough. I don't know why more people don't do it. I have a video on it, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's Shamanic Journeying. And basically what it is a very visual form of meditation. It's derived from core shamanism, so it's kind of a little bit more like native in its roots. So it's more, I don't want to say Native American because it's like also native cultures from like Siberia and like Europe and all these places. But I like doing those shamanic journeying because you really have to get into a zone of completely removing yourself and just going with the flow. And I find that that's the best place to meet my guides. So I would start there, Alana. I hope that helps. You're welcome, Jenny. Am I gonna release but this task that I hate from work soon? Okay. So Marco wants to know. I'm gonna ask how you can get out of it, Marco. Normally I don't pull so many cards during speed readings, but I'm just really feeling like it. Yeah. All your guides are saying, Marco, is not for you, and you know it. What can he do to get out of it, though? That was a question. Loyal heart. Okay, so Marco, what I'm feeling like is you're not being honest about the fact that you don't like it, and you're afraid of like them firing you or like letting you go or something. And just be honest and be loyal to them and say, hey, this isn't working for me. Is there somebody else that I can put in my position? Can I get somebody else to help? Or even if, you know, you can't do that, you know, finish the task and then, you know, make sure to speak to somebody. Like what this card is essentially saying is like, be honest with somebody else and, you know, let them know, hey, my talents, I think could be better used elsewhere. So I think a lot of it is you're kind of taking it, you're taking it and they don't understand that you don't like it. If that makes sense. And just being honest with them, they're going to be loyal back to you. They're going to be like, oh, okay, he's being cool. I mean, he's not giving up. He's not being lazy. He's telling me that this just doesn't work for him. I'm going to keep that in mind, and I appreciate that. Should I go into the cannabis business? I'm immediately getting DJ High EQ 909. Like, your location is not the best for it. I don't know what it is. I'm seeing like just limited resources, maybe limited buyers, which it sounds crazy to me because it's cannabis. Well, cannabis, I guess, is different than marijuana. I'm in Colorado, so we were the first ones, along with Oregon, to get marijuana. And oh my gosh, you guys, the minute we got marijuana, we were the first 2 states to do it. Denver has completely changed. It is insane. Not like you guys care, but yeah, Alana, check out the Shamanic Journeying video. I wish I renamed it because it was kind of a confusing name originally, so check it out. I have been telling them directly. They forced you to do it. What the F, Marco? See, that's weird because I felt like it was like they would be loyal to you and they would be honest and, well, at least you're getting a change in the wind, so I think it's going to change soon. I would just, I don't know, Marco. Going back to that like group reading, I would maybe step back and like recalculate how you can approach them and make a different plan, because if that's not working, try a different tactic, because if you're telling them directly and they're not listening, that's crazy. Is Elsa my twin flame? I'm like immediately thinking of Princess Elsa. So I will say, full disclosure, I don't know what a twin flame is, but I will answer your question anyway. I think twin flames are sort of like, are they the equivalent to soulmates? I kind of see it as one of those buzzwords that psychics sort of use to get you, and they're like, I know you're a twin flame. And I think it implies that you only have one person out there for you, and I don't quite believe in that. I believe we have multiple opportunities and multiple chances. So usually I say something like, she is a possibility. She can be really close. But you're also asking a yes or no question, which is hard because I already have that bias. Okay, you feel like we'll be back together. That's a good question. I feel like there's a lot going on there. I'm just gonna pull some cards. So I think, yeah. So building blocks, Davy, is what I'm getting, and I pulled it in reverse, and it's like, if you guys get back together, the foundation needs to be rebuilt, and you need to start from the ground up. Like, the very basics need to be rehashed. Maybe that was communication, maybe that was like, how you guys talk to each other or something. That you guys never built the foundation, and because of it, that's why it didn't last. And then I also got that you guys aren't in the same tribe, and the tribe is kind of like people around you that are similar, your similar thoughts, similar interests, similar, I shouldn't say interests, but it's like you resonate with certain people and you don't resonate with other people. And so maybe there was that like physical attraction or that like chemistry, but then you guys found out that things just aren't vibing. So, Davy, what I like to say is, I don't like to say, no, she's not your twin flame. What I like to say is, ask a question of, how can I get back together? Not if. If questions are, basically yes or no questions. And I could read that, but that's based on where you're at right now. That could change tomorrow. She could suddenly decide tomorrow that she wants to be with you. Or maybe she meets somebody else tomorrow. So the question that I like to ask is, how can you get back together? Which I know Davy's like, woman, just read my, just do the reading. Interesting. I just feel like Davy, if you want to get back to her, there's a lot that needs to happen. Orphaned. Is this her or you? This is both of you. Both of you are feeling pretty abandoned around it. How do I sum this up? I need to do faster. I think summing it up right now, it doesn't look good because there's just a lot of gunk that needs to be fixed. But these are your obstacles. So if you can figure out ways to get around this and reach out and, make her not feel abandoned, and also reassure yourself that you're not abandoned and that you are okay with or without her. And then focus on those building blocks. What didn't work? And then focus on, how can we make sure that we are of the same, I'm hearing tribe, but also vibe. And, maybe, sometimes when people meet, somebody could be up here maturity wise, and then somebody could be down here maturity wise. How can you meet them? How can you either step up, or how can you get them to your level? It's kind of all the sorts of things I'm feeling, Davey. I feel like a lot. Hello, Katrina. Hello. Will me and the current person I'm seeing be long term? And I'll answer that the same way. Yes, if you put in the time and the effort, your guides are here to help you guys manifest whatever you want. So if you decide, I don't like this, I'm peacing out, your guides will be like, all right, we'll support you. But then if you're like, you know what, no, I want to make this work, your guides will support you then there too. So instead of will I, won't I, how can I make it long term? Because I assume you're not asking how can I end it. Katrina, be flexible. Chop wood, put in the work, put in the effort. And I'm getting that that's like put in the work and the effort to be a better person for them. So those little things that you do that irk someone else, that you are like, oh, I need to change this about myself, but I don't want to because it's inconvenient. It's like work on stuff like that. And how will our partnership and business go? I'm just feeling separate. I don't feel like that means you can't not do a business. It's just separate relationship from business. And if I'm not answering your guys' question full enough, this will be a great technique of how do I ask a better question. I would love a random reading from Vanessa. Vanessa, you have a dog guide. And this dog guide is about, ignore this card, but it's about honesty. Your dog guide is coming in. Well, because dogs are honest. Dogs are like, what do we call them? Man's best friend. Your dog guide comes in to be like, tell the truth, either to other people or to yourself. Maybe you kid yourself a lot or you make excuses. This guide is here to be like, I want you to tell the truth and own your truth, is what I'm hearing. Is Muhammad going to respond to me? I'm trying to catch up. Sorry, guys. Is Muhammad going to respond to me reaching out? I'm hearing yes, no right away. I hate yes or no questions. I always second guess myself. Is Muhammad going to respond to me reaching out? Yes, no. Unfinished symphony. I'm getting that relationship is unfinished. There's still more to come. I don't feel like he's going to reach out to whatever you sent, but that doesn't mean that you won't try again or that he won't reach out later. I think that's what the yes no means. That's a perfect example of why I say try to ask when, how, why. Because if you ask a yes or no question, and if it's a yes but or a no but, which is what this one was, then you might be missing out on potential information. Miriam says they're basically just soulmates. Gotcha. Yeah, and I'm going to do a video eventually on like buzzwords that psychics use to kind of get you in, and why I'm not a huge fan of them. Pause. Side note. I'm going to be releasing a new exercise video, and I'm curious which one you guys want first. So I have 3 that I just haven't started editing, and I can put up any one. So one is an intuitive calendar that I could do. I show you guys how to predict the future month for yourself. 2 is how to find a lost object using your clairs. And then the 3rd was how to exercise your clairs using playing cards. Which one do you guys want to see next week? Because I haven't started. I don't care which one comes next. Whatever you guys want. Oh, shoot. I just scrolled down too far. Where was I? Sorry. Oh, say Davey says you feel we'll get back together. I think yes, if you put in the work, but there's a lot of work that needs to happen there, Davey. Marco says we have lots of twin flames in life, so lots of soulmates, lots of I would call them just partners that you're strongly attracted to. That's kind of like how I would put it. But some people see twin flames as soulmates, but I believe twin flames burn out easily. Oh, that would make sense why they use that word. Like that fast, crazy energy. Soulmates are something different. It's not about being the same, but complement each other. See, and that's what the issue is in the inherent value of these words, soulmates or twin flames. Soul or twin flame is implying that it can only be fast and intense and that it's gonna burn out. Whereas soulmate implies that it's long, beautiful, romantic love forever. And in my experience, relationships have a little bit of both, and all of those aspects have to be nurtured. And I'm a strong believer in you have to shape your relationships. And if you're being lazy and you're not working at it, then yeah, you're not going to feel that passion or that flame. But I truly believe you can bring back the romance. You can bring back that intense physical attraction at any time. And I think you can do that with anyone as long as you're putting in the effort. And so that's kind of why I'm like, if you want to know about twin flames, maybe see another psychic. And I'm honest about that. And that's just kind of how I am. And every psychic, if you watch my video, what was it that I put up recently? I kind of talk about how every psychic has a bias. It was the God one. The can you believe in God and believe in psychics at the same time? And every psychic, no matter what, is going to have a bias. So find a psychic for you that at least has some of the same values. Because if you don't believe in the same things, they inherently read through that bias. As much as I try to get rid of it, I still have those biases. Hi Priscilla, I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be on here with you guys. It's been like 2 weeks. I had to skip, so I'm glad to be here. Let's see. How will my new business do? Another yes or no question. And it's basically like good or not good. So I'm seeing yellow, of course. The traffic light exercise, which I just put up, is a technique that I use to ask, how is something? Is it bad, good, or in between? So when I see yellow, it's kind of like, it's so-so. So that to me says, okay, there might be different variables at play. Maybe there's some obstacles. I'm just going to go with the first one that I get, which I'm just going to pull cards so I can speed this up. Milk and honey, but it was in reverse. Vanessa, you have to get into the mind space of abundance. This card is about being like this little elephant. He's showered in milk and honey. He has everything he needs. His wants and his needs are met. And for whatever reason, your mental state is, I am desperate. I need money. I'm doing this because, I need this or that. There's just lack mentality going on. And if you guys ever feel like you have that lack mentality, money blocks, I always recommend Get Rich Lucky Bitch. It's a book, not an ad. Don't sponsor it at all. I just love it. It's like my money Bible. Does Antonio have good intentions toward me? Yes, I feel like very friendly pals sort of intentions. He would never, Priscilla, he would never take it a step further because he's just too nice. So if you ever want to take it that way, which I feel like is what you're asking, maybe not, you might have to make that first step. Does Stephanie still have feelings for me? I think, Marco, that's where that distrust that I was getting, that heart chakra, there's like pain, a little bit of that betrayal. I don't know what happened, but there's just like a little bit of a block there, a block towards you. And so we can kind of put that on ourselves when somebody wrongs us or somebody, you had a bad experience with them. And honestly, it could have nothing to do with you. They could just make it up. So I think yes, but it's kind of like she needs to get over that first. That needs to be corrected if it can be. Katrina, how will me and current person I'm seeing go? Oh, maybe you were just re-clarifying that question because I was like, So I got the regeneration card, but I got it in reverse, which is not such a good sign. the regeneration card is about like really coming up from the ashes, changing, making things better. And so I think right now it needs a break, Katrina. That doesn't mean that it can't happen. Again, like what I'm preaching before, if you put in the work and you put in the time and the effort, it can happen. But right now, what I'm reading is that it needs a break. You need a breather, and then maybe you'll be able to grow like a little tree. Maybe you will be able to grow it. But I think for whatever reason, it needs to be just paused so that you guys can see what's going on, maybe what you're doing wrong, what the other person is doing wrong. And I don't feel like, Katrina, you're going through anything rough. It's just like, if you want it to grow, there might just be some things right now that need to come to the surface and be addressed. Davey, I'm going on Tinder. Never mind. I love your guys' sense of humor. And yes, they can post more than once. These are speed readings. That's exactly what they're for. Will I be more aligned with my chosen path for this life if I study medicine or clinical psychology? I'm immediately, Alana, leaning towards clinical psychology. I just like get this clairsentient feeling, like I'm drawn to that half of the sentence. I'm a healer, but I feel like I should become a physical one as well. And I don't know the difference, forgive me. So I'm just I'm leaning towards clinical psychology, physical. And I don't know what you might be implying, but I'm immediately seeing, Alana, that you can do something on the side. Like whatever it is that you feel like you want to do physically, you can, like, I'm seeing you have people come to like a little office space or like your home or something, and maybe you're giving them like a massage or Reiki or something like that. I feel like for whatever reason you feel like it has to be one or the other, but I think those two things can coexist. Is the seminar for self-improvement legitimate? Ugh. I could be wrong. And guys, if any of this information you feel like does not resonate, throw it away. I could be wrong. That is like the thing I preach all day, every day. Psychics are not always right. And Abdiel, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I feel like it's not. I feel like there might be little nuggets that stick out to you, but I don't feel like it's worth either the price or the time or the travel, whatever it is that you're having to give up in exchange. I feel like it's a lot of fluff surrounding some things that you're like, okay. But I feel like for whatever reason you are seeking a pep talk, and maybe you can find that elsewhere. So, Abdiel, I would ask your guides to point you in the direction of what do I need that is similar to this self-improvement that I can get for free. Maybe it's a meditation with your guides and they'll give you that same pep talk. I don't know. Sierra, can I get a random reading? I'm just going to pull a card to speed it up. Sierra, your guides want to talk to you bad because all my cards are popping out at me. Sierra, you need peace right now. This is like the theme of the night is everyone is in chaos and we need to just chill. Because I pulled this in reverse. Sierra, whatever you need to do right now to prioritize self-care, put yourself first, find what puts you at peace. And, like immediately what I'm thinking of is like, I sometimes get into ruts where I just like work. I work and then like I come home and I just watch TV. And then I get up and I do it all over again. Work, watch TV, work, watch TV. And sometimes I realize that like, oh, if I take a bath or if I go on a walk or if I have a conversation with my husband, that's like 30 minutes where we're not talking about work or something like that. It's so regenerative. And I feel like that's kind of the prescription for you, Sierra. Alana, however the path that is become. Gotcha. And I don't know. Alana, I might be getting all of I don't know the difference between medicine and clinical psychology, but if it doesn't align with you, don't go with it. And, that's something that I had to do too, because I went to school for film, which was a big waste of my time. But and then I basically got into all of this, and then I did these two separate career paths. You know, I did film for a while, and then I did the psychic stuff for a while. And then somewhere along the line, they came together and they've merged into like this channel. And it's like what I'm most passionate about. And so that's, Alana, what I'm seeing for you is like, you know, this doesn't work. It's okay. Just leave it. Focus on this other thing. What's going to happen is life is going to keep moving along, and you're going to find a way to feel that other need satisfied, the need to be more physical. And then you're going to find a way where they can both coexist. And it doesn't mean, we all think that it has to be combined in like one job, but you could have a hobby on the side, or you could be in a group, or I don't know, you could be running two businesses at the same time. So Alana, get rid of the stuff that doesn't work for you. I'm hearing again that group reading that I did at the beginning, like take that calculated decision, kind of take a step back, weigh your pros and cons. You're going to, find a way that you might have to put one on the side, but you're going to find it again. You're going to figure it out. It's going to work out. Like, I wouldn't stress at all. Is kind of the interesting thing that I'm getting. Brittany, another random reading. Oh, and if you don't know what to ask, I have a blog post on my website, because sometimes we're trying to practice our psychic ability and we don't know what to ask. We just run out of questions, or you just don't have any issues. And so I have a blog post of like example questions that you can ask. So sometimes those are just fun to be like, oh, I've never thought about asking that. I want to see what the answer is. And then let's see, who is this? This was Brittany. Brittany, I pulled the deep knowing card again, but in reverse. And to me, that's your guides being like, you can connect to your intuition. You can do it. You have such great intuitive abilities, and you're just not connecting right now. Maybe that's just because you just don't trust in it, or maybe you don't trust that you can do it. But they want you to know that you know what they're saying, and to trust it more. You're welcome. Katrina says future calendar, lost object, psychic buzzwords video. Yeah, I need to make that one. I haven't had that one filmed yet, but maybe I'll prioritize that one next time I feel. Playing cards, finding a lost object, playing cards. It looks like lost object. Maybe I'll try to. That's kind of the one I was gravitating for. So Miriam asks, okay, so why won't he respond to me reaching out this whole time? I just feel like he doesn't want to talk. He's like he looks at the phone and he's like, meh, and he's just like, he doesn't want it. I'm sorry, Miriam. That's probably not what you want to hear. Do you see me and my SAG getting back together? I don't know the answer, Rosalina, but your guides are like, why do you want to get back together? Like, ask yourself that question. Because there's not, was there an equal balance of giving and receiving in that relationship, Rosalina? Like, were you giving too much and he wasn't reciprocating? They just want you to focus on that question. I had a dream about Saturn last night. It's very close and it was being destroyed. I wasn't afraid or anything. I only felt like I needed to tell people it wasn't real. I need help deciphering. Interesting. Hello, by the way. And like I said before, dreams are very different, and I'm doing a whole video series on them because it's all about symbols, and symbols are a lot more personal. And I don't know how to describe this in a quick way, but your symbols to you are different than me. So you're saying you had a dream about Saturn. You know, I have to ask you, what does Saturn mean to you? And I think if you tell me that, I might be able to help you kind of break it down. So Universe Love, tell me what Saturn, the first thing you think of when you hear the word Saturn. And I'll try to go back. Because again, our guides speak to us in symbols, and my symbol for Saturn, or what I feel like Saturn means, is probably completely different than what you mean. So that dream was made specifically for you. Whereas, you know, if you ask me a reading and I got that image in a reading, you know, my guides are using my language to speak to me for you. And so it's going to be very different of an interpretation. I hope that makes sense. Again, I'm going to do a video on this because I get asked this question so much. General reading for March. My phone's going off. It's like time for bed. I'm having too much fun now. Marcy, general reading for March. I got this card in reverse, which is TikTok. And this means just like let go of your timelines, let go of whatever's supposed to happen. Maybe you're just like trying to make all these things happen. It was just like let go of trying to make it work. What's going to happen will happen. Does Stephanie feel that you betrayed her? It's like a little bit yes, but she also knows that's irrational. Marcy, do you see me in a relationship soon? I'm going to ask what you can do to get in a relationship soon. Because yes or no, sometimes it's just boring. Marcy, receive. Just receive that relationship. Don't worry about forcing it. Don't worry about trying to make anything happen. Sometimes what we need is to receive. Set the intention that you want a relationship and let the universe take you the next step. And just pay attention. Pay attention to signs that they give you. Pay attention to little things that pop up, people that pop up. So even when I give the prescription of like receive, don't do anything, that doesn't mean like don't pay attention to any of the signs, because sometimes what your guides are like is like, we need you to calm down and sit still and we're going to take care of it, but pay attention because you gotta know when to take action. What type of work should I do? Oh my gosh, I'm so behind you guys. I need to speed up. Vanessa, I got observer. So maybe a role, like I'm seeing like processes. You're really good at observing what needs to happen. This is like totally me. Observing what needs to happen, seeing the bigger picture, any role that helps, that plays to that strength. I feel like you'd be a good boss, Vanessa. You're welcome, Katrina. And when is he gonna reach out to me? I saw March or May, Miriam. I doubt if I really have the abilities physically heal that. Alana, maybe look into Reiki. That might not be what you're talking about at all, but I don't know. Maybe even just play with clairsentience, Alana. Maybe you'll feel a little bit more in tune with that. Sometimes when you play with clairsentience, you get more in tune with your body because you have to pay attention a lot to your body. On the money, pun intended. I already forgot what I said, but glad it resonated. I've been thinking about a few career changes, switching to a supervisor job, getting real estate license, writing reports to support. Whoa, that's a lot. I'm feeling like the real estate license is where I'm drawn first, and I'm just seeing because that's the fastest to the end goal, whatever that is. What went wrong with this person I was very attracted to? What went wrong? Round and round. Abdiel, I think there's lessons there. You attracted it for some reason. That person was in your life to teach you a lesson, and it's a lesson that you're going to have to keep learning over and over again. So what went wrong with it was something maybe that you haven't realized yet that you need to. You might come back to it again, but I guess the question that you should ask yourself is, what's the question that you should be asking? Because you're why are you attracting it? What are you attracting? Maybe I'll just pull that. Maybe you're attracting not peaceful situations. Maybe you feel like relationships can't be peaceful, can't be good. And so maybe there's this underlying subconscious belief that, relationships can't work out. And so maybe that's the lesson that you're having to learn over and over again. And as soon as you tell yourself, no, relationships can be good, they can work for me, this can be a good thing, maybe then you'll start to see the pattern in these relationships. And then the next time it happens, Abdiel, you'll be able to be like, oh, okay, this is happening again, but I'm not going to tell myself I don't deserve it. I'm going to be like, no, this is going to work. And because I believe it's going to work, I'm going to put in the effort. I'm going to do more than I would have last time. And this isn't going to happen again. Or if it's a bad person, you'll be able to see those red flags a lot sooner. I hope that makes sense. Brittany, that really resonates. You're welcome. Mary. Oh, and why would he come back if he does? That's a good question. I like that question, Marion. Why would he come back? Because then we know his intentions. Because he's between worlds, because he's stuck in the past, he's stuck in that old relationship, but he also wants something new. That's a great place to be in, Miriam, because he's not ignorant of what happened in the past, but he's also desiring something better. So that's a great place to be, Miriam. Input on your relationship, Elena. Elena, it just feels like stale. It feels stagnant. It feels dry. I've never felt that feeling before. That's kind of cool. That would be Claire. Oh, that would be Claire Symptoms. That's just what it feels like, Elena. Anything you could do to mix it up, change it up, get out of the house. Like, you guys are both just stuck right now, and what's the worst in relationships is when you're both stuck, or you're both depressed, or you're both going through something. You can kind of dig each other in that hole and not help each other out. That's kind of what I'm getting right now, Elena. And tell me if I'm wrong about that. Universe love. Saturn to me means spiritual power or spiritual evolution. Okay, so let me jump back up to what your dream was about. So replace that word with what it means. I had a dream about spiritual evolution last night. It was very close. It was being destroyed. So maybe you have a belief that people's spiritual evolution is not happening. People are not being enlightened. It's being destroyed. Everything is like shit hits the fan. But you weren't afraid, which says a lot, because then in the dream, your guides are giving you the message of that's okay. You might be feeling like there's that chaos and people aren't evolving, but don't be afraid. You felt like you needed to tell people it wasn't real. So I think your guides are trying to tell you you're worried. Maybe you see the world as like not evolving. It's not enlightened. People are kind of a mess right now, but your guides are saying, don't be afraid. It's not real. That's an awesome message. I love that. Tell me if that resonates. So that's kind of how I would determine, or I would decipher that. And the things that you're feeling sometimes can be manipulated by your spiritual helpers. So even though you're saying, I felt like I needed to tell people it wasn't real, I wasn't afraid. Sometimes that's the message, is your guides are like, don't be afraid. It's not real. And that's them saying that. So that's such an interesting message. So maybe universe love, maybe you've been stressing, maybe you've been watching too much news, or you're online and you're like, people are awful, I have no faith in humanity, and your guides are trying to tell you to relax, and that's not the case. That's how I would interpret it. Yeah, Miriam, sorry, 2021. You're welcome. Just seen an orb on your right. Yes. And you know what? It's hair. Let me tell you. There's this meme online that I'm going to share, and it's like something that will always start a fight, and it said like, dust orbs are not ghosts. And I'm like, I'm kind of one of those people, even though I'm a medium, and I'm going to do a video of orbs in video and photos, and how to kind of, because I do believe that spirits can show up in photos and video, but as a videographer and a photographer, I do know that some of the things people think are orbs are actually the lens, or it's dust, or it's hair, and or it's the way that the camera is set up. And so I'm going to kind of show you guys, I'm going to go through and be like, okay, This is what bokeh is. This is what dust on a camera looks like. So you can first just rule out and make sure it's not any of those. And then if you ruled them all out, then yes, it might be spirit. But I'm really excited to do that video because I like combining my film stuff. And if you guys are sort of into that, I've done some reaction videos where I watch mediums or psychics in movies, and I sort of break down what the filmmakers did, one, and then also kind of the interpretation as a psychic or a medium, because I think I have a very interesting perspective when it comes to all of that, just being on both sides of those worlds. Miriam, I don't know. I'm feeling like no, unless you really push it. We live in separate places, and sometimes I visit. I felt it was stuck and felt maybe we're incompatible. I've been told from others to move on. I'm hearing, Elena, to not listen to others. You need to decide for yourself if you want it. I feel like a lot of the people in here tonight, the theme of the night is make a decision, like fork in the road. You can decide if you want to make the relationship better. And so, like, Elena, what I'm seeing is you're faced with throwing the towel in, which is perfectly okay, perfectly acceptable, or stepping it up and trying to make it better. And sometimes when we see these two options, we're like, oh, it's compatibility. Oh, it's, our twin flame is dying out. Oh, we're not supposed to be together, and we kind of chalk it up to these big otherworldly things. But the card that I pulled before, it was called chop wood, and it was like put in the effort. And I think if any of you guys are feeling like this resonates with you, just understand that your guides will support you either way. You need to make the decision of what you want to do. And so how do I make that? I don't know which way to go. Well, weigh the options and be like, okay, well, if I stay with this person, what needs to happen? What needs to change? And when it comes to a relationship, are they going to do their part too? And so I always tell people try to make it better, and try to get them to step up too, but then know when to call it quits, know when they're not stepping up, they're not helping, and when they're not putting in that equal effort. And if you're trying and trying and trying, and you're giving and giving and giving, and they're not returning it, then you don't want to be stuck in that. But again, throwing in the towel is not a mistake. It's not a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing, because you're saying, no, universe, I deserve better. I want a better relationship than this, and I don't want to accept this anymore. So Elena, the fact that I'm hearing like to not listen to the other people to move on, I feel like you're attracted to the giving up because it's easier. And Elena, for you specifically, I'm just hearing try. But have a timeline, or have some sort of like milestone, or some sort of gauge where you can be like, all right, this is the red flag of, it's not going to get any better. That's what I'm feeling. Yeah, sorry, Marcy. Isn't that funny, universe? I love doing dream interpretations. It's just hard because, again, it's your language, your idea of what Saturn is. Because when I hear Saturn, I think planets and science and things that I don't understand. So, because I'm not really astrology at all. And so if I were to interpret that with my language, it would have been a very different reading. Hi, Marissa. Welcome back. Not doing games tonight. We're doing speed readings. I do need to wrap it up, though. You're welcome, universe. Abdiel, was she more of a red flag, or is she wanting something serious? I feel like more of a red flag, Abdiel. I was hired at a new job, but they're backed up in HR. Will I hear anything soon? Why am I seeing the zoo? Okay, that's why. So, Rosalina, I'm seeing the zoo when it comes to the HR, and I'm just seeing that they're just like inundated. And so, like, you're going to hear back, and it might be like a week, but you're not going to be like satisfied because they're so like stretched thin. Miriam, is he going to realize what pain he caused me? Your guides are saying, why are you asking that question? You want him to experience that pain, and that's a negative feeling. And when we sit in that, when we sit and have those negative intentions towards other people, that doesn't help you move on. Is he going to want you in this life? Maybe things would have to change, but I feel like not right now. Miriam, I would step back. Think of that first reading that I did. Step back. Why are you so hung up on this person? Why do you think you need this person? That's what I would ask. Will I ever be able to overcome mental health struggles ever since I had my daughter struggled with depression? VL, maybe try that. That was a piece of hair again. Probably looked like an orb to you guys. It was a piece of hair. I have two cats and a dog. Via, what I'm seeing is that you're not finding a good way to connect with them. That's not because they're not there. It's not because they're not listening. You just haven't found the best way to connect. So try different things, like try different techniques. Try a pendulum. Try automatic writing. Try dreaming. Try lucid dreaming. Try group events or like group readings versus reading yourself. I'm again getting drawn to shamanic journeying. VL, I'm just going to ask what you can do. And guys, remember too, you can reach out to me for a reading at any time. I do email only readings that are just short and quick, like 1 to 2 questions emails, or you can set up a 30-minute reading with me or an hour reading with me. And if you're embarrassed and you don't want to get on the phone or don't want to get on Skype, I can send you an audio recording of myself. Like, feel free to reach out. Sometimes having clarity is definitely worth it. And I know that sometimes spending the money on it can be like, I don't know if that's worth it. But sometimes, I don't know. It can be so helpful to have that confirmation. Yeah, VO, I feel like I want to spend way more time with you because there's a lot more going on, but your guides are just giving me all like happy peace, like things are going good. You're doing really well, but I feel like you're like, I can't see that. And it's like they're sending you signs, but you can't see them. I would just focus on honing your psychic ability, reaching out to others. And I think the biggest thing again was try a different avenue of connecting, because whatever you've been doing maybe it just doesn't work for you, and that's totally okay. Like some of us, like you might come across an exercise that's really geared towards clairvoyance, and maybe you're clairsentient and it just doesn't work. Another hair. and so that's kind of why I'm recommending to try something new. Is I just feel like you're trying and your guides are there, you're not doing anything wrong, and you're like freaking out because you're worried there's no one there for you and you have no help, but that's not the case. Miriam, you're going crazy over this. Miriam, I'm going to just pull back and ask for you. You seem to be obsessed about meeting someone. Why do you think you need someone so bad? What is it that this relationship will bring you that you don't have? I think that's what you need to focus on. And right now, I pulled this card in reverse. This card is like, you're not seeing how blessed you are and how great your life is. And right now you're just so focused on what you don't have, and you feel like it's a person. You feel like this person is going to come in and fix everything. And I think you don't have a place to call home. You don't have you don't have that grounded sense of this is home, this is comfort, this is me, and you're looking for that in a person that doesn't exist. You can have that. You can have a home, you can have a place where you feel loved and supported and comforted without it being from a different person. And I think seeking out this person that you're so worried about is preventing you from having a new life. I'm pulling these cards in reverse. It's like you're stuck because you're like, I can't have the things that I need or want because I'm so focused on this needs to happen before I can have it. Miriam, I'd look into like how to manifest things. I just feel like your intentions behind this are wrong. You're doing it for the wrong reasons, and that's why nothing is working. When you're hitting that wall, and when you feel like you're trying to manifest something, and this goes for all of us, if you're trying to manifest a relationship or money, and you're just like, oh my God, why isn't this working? Sometimes it's might be that that's not what you need right now, and your guys are trying to be like, no, you can have that, but a different way. You can have all these things that you want, but let us show you how it's going to work out better. And so let go, release what it looks like. Because maybe there needs to be some personal growth there. Maybe there needs to be a realization of what you do have. Maybe you need to reestablish what being alone and being at home and being comfortable looks like outside of another person. And a lot of the times that those thoughts scare us, and sometimes I'm like, go towards those thoughts, feel those feelings. Sometimes you'll come out on the other side feeling so much better, and you'll be like, wow, okay, yes, I did want a relationship, but really what I needed a purpose. I needed something to do. I needed a job or like a hobby that I felt like a relationship would bring me. But you know what? I can have that anyway without that relationship. And then what happens, Miriam, is all of a sudden you're in a much better place because you don't have all that gunk in your way of attracting a relationship. So Miriam, I don't feel like you won't have a relationship. It's just like your guides want you to step back. Step back. There needs to be a different focus right now. I hope that helps. Hospital, thank you. So I'm gonna wrap it up after Katrina because I need to get off and go to bed. Okay, so Marissa, is it true that I have a spirit guide named Emily? I would say yes. I'm seeing her pretty clearly. I don't know is she younger? Younger, very energetic, Marissa? And I think I sort of meant to say this earlier because somebody else had a similar question. Um, Even if that's not necessarily their name, that doesn't mean they don't exist. And you can get to know them. And it could be that you have a spirit guide named Emily, and maybe that's how a different psychic picked up on it. But, maybe a different psychic picked up that it was a owl, for example. And so it could be both things. It could be an owl named Emily. And it's really that energy, that essence that you want to connect to. And when you're connecting to them personally, you'll be able to feel them in the room. And I've had guides sort of change how they appear to us. They changed their looks. They changed their names, but you'll be able to tell because you're familiar with them. You're like, oh, that's that same guide. So that's why I say it's always better for you to connect with them, because then you'll know. And like I have this guide that's been coming through lately that I don't know their name. I don't know where she's from, but I know it's a female. But she keeps showing up through different psychics and in different ways. And I've tuned into her. And so whenever somebody's like, I see a female around you, or something like that, I tune into it. And if it feels like that same energy, I'm like, okay, it's that guide. I don't have a name yet. I don't quite have a whole lot about her, but I know what she tends to come in and give me advice about. And so that's kind of how you can slowly develop that relationship with them. But if any of you guys are really like, I want to see them, I want to talk to them, check out Shamanic Journeying. I will preach all day and all night about it, but that is a clairvoyant exercise, and sometimes people get really frustrated if they're not very clairvoyant because they can't see things going on. But I highly recommend that for sure. Will my friend become famous and a successful music artist soon? I feel like Katrina, yes, because of her willpower and her she's really trying. It's more of a question of, will she get through the obstacles that are in her way? And I'm hearing self-doubt and maybe knowledge, like lack of knowledge of how things work, maybe getting, like, I don't know, contracts, or maybe she doesn't quite understand that. So I would say yes, because she's willing and she's putting in the time and the effort. But if anything impedes her, it's going to be just obstacles that are temporary. And if she decides to face them or not, with any of us, any obstacle comes our way, we have two choices. We have the choice of try to figure it out or give up. and so that's why it's hard to read the future, is because I don't know what people's decisions are going to be, because you have your own free will. You could change your mind at any moment. Let's see. Miriam says, I don't have affection from family and my home feels like hell. Well, that is a good place to start, Miriam. And so maybe that's a clue of like why you're seeking this relationship. You're seeking that affection. Your home life feels like hell. And so maybe in your mind, this person will come in and fix all these things and change all these things. And so I would encourage you to not hope and wish for somebody else, to come and save you from that. Is there anything you can do now to make that better, or to get away from that? And then maybe you'll be able to separate from it, fix all of these problems, and you'll be able to come out of it and be like, wow, I am empowered. I was able to pull away from that. I was able to, get ahead of that and really change my life for the better. And I didn't need anybody to do that for me. And then it's like I'm seeing your energy, Miriam, of like just being so much lighter and so much better. And then you're going into a relationship not looking for those things, and you're going to be able to attract someone a lot easier, and you're going to be more attractive because you're not desperate, you're not looking for the wrong things. I hope that makes sense. And that really just kind of goes for all of us. When we're manic manifesting, sometimes I say, pull back. What is it that you really want here? What is it that you think that this thing will give you? And I mean, that can go for babies. Like if you are so desperate to have a baby, what is it that you feel that you will have without or with this baby? Same with like a dog. Like some people who are just desperate to have a dog. Like right now, I'm going through that. I desperately want a new house so bad, and sometimes I have to pull back and be like, why do I want this so bad? And I'm like, oh, because I feel like it's going to give me a better life for my son. It's going to give me better schools, better this, better that. And then I have to stop and be like, you know what? I could probably get him into a better school living here in this house. I could probably make this house safer because I feel like the area that I'm in is not the safest. So, I don't need to move to a new house. I can install some security cameras. I can do this. I can do that. And I don't need to, there's always another solution. I hope that makes sense. Marissa. I wouldn't be surprised, Marissa. My owl guide has been coming up, or owls have been coming up a lot for people lately. Yay, thank you, Brittany. I'll get up a new video for you guys either Sunday or Monday, and I think I'll do the how to find a object that's lost using your clairs. So that could be like literally pets, that could be your keys, that could be, something in the store that you're trying to find, or even a like what's it called, like a parking spot. So it's a fun way to practice your clairs every day. And even if you don't have something that's lost, it's a great exercise because you can have like your husband or your boyfriend or a significant other hide something, and then you can sit down and try this clair exercise to try to find it. And it's just another fun little thing that I like to do. So I will get that up this week. But otherwise, join me again next Thursday for live readings. I want to be on hopefully every Thursday. And VL, I'm just automatically saying yes. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. My throat hurts so bad. I just talk and I talk and I talk. That's the only bad thing about doing this live, is that you guys get to type, but I just have to talk and talk. and I lose my voice by the end of it. You're welcome. Thank you for thanking me, you guys. I appreciate that. And again, if you want to learn your psychic abilities, check out the videos on my channel. You guys should be able to do what I do. I am proof of that. I learned how to be psychic. I went to school for it. I was not born with any special gifts. I chose to figure out how to strengthen my clairs, and I learned how to do it. And now I love teaching you guys how to do it. So I teach lots of little tidbits on my YouTube channel, but I also have these video courses that you can purchase if you want to really just get all of it consolidated and get all of the information at once. So yeah, reach out to me if you guys want a reading, and I will see you guys next Thursday. Woohoo! Thank you guys so much for watching. I really don't want to go, but I know my son wakes up super freaking early in the morning, and I'm such a night owl. That's been the hardest part about having a baby. It's like, oh, I gotta get to bed even though I don't want to and I'm not tired, or else I'll hate myself in the morning. Thank you, Rosalina. You too. Good night, you guys. Bye.